Hello? Waiting to see it show up on the iPad here. There we are. Doot. Hello? Hey, Peach. Peaches? Hello. Can you say hello, Peaches? And Peaches say hello. Hello. Hi, Peach. Yeah, someone's watching. Can you hear me? I want to make sure that the audio is working. Let me know if you can hear me. Hello, Amy. Amy Lulu. Hi, Denise. Peaches, can you say hello? I know you can. Good, good. Ah, I can't believe I'm in here and got everything done. Right? Come here. Are you an appendage to my side or what? Hmm? Hmm? Are you an appendage? You are? Hello. Hey, Peaches. 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 Peachy girl. Cause, where are you going? Come here. Come here. What are you up to? Hmm? Oh, I know. Sometimes a little timeout works, but Bob probably gets most of them. Last night he decided he was going to fly from here all the way up to the perch to go after Pippa. Yeah. So he got a timeout for that. Nobody got hurt. I mean, he doesn't usually bite or anything like that, but he's the one that could get hurt. He is definitely super chicken. He acts all aggressive, but the second somebody starts coming back at him, he's out of there. Where are you going? What are you doing upside down? Huh? What are you doing? Can you say hi, cockatoo? Hi, cockatoo. Hi, Gina. Hello. Yeah, she's going back to the vet. She's had this problem before, but we haven't been able to figure it out. So she's going to Dr. Jenkins for a full workup. So it's not good when you start getting blood out the vent, that's for sure. Although it's pretty close to the outer section because it's bright red when it comes out. But an emergency visit won't do it. She needs a full workup. Don't you, baby? Peach has. There's all kinds of people watching the Peach. Hi, Cheryl. You say hi, Peach? Hi. Well, that was a pretty weak hi. Can you say hello? Hello? Peach? Yes, you can say Peach. Can you say hello, Peach? No, we're not going to say hello. Yeah, I wish we could have gotten an earlier appointment, but with all the pandemic stuff and the extra restrictions, even though they've lifted some of them prematurely, I'm sure, but it's still hard to get in to see a vet for a full visit. She's probably going to need radiology. So, see what the X-rays show. Hmm? What do you think? Can you say hi, cockatoo? Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. I'm not going to say hi, cockatoo. No. Yeah, one vet said that these umbrellas would like to be sewn into your skin, and you can pretty much see how that works. Uh, well, Denise, I would suggest getting a male, and be sure it's a male. Get it DNA'd. Don't go with a female because they you would not like to. Well, it's like that blind date that you had that you were really upset with. Well, that happens about 9 times out of 10. They're pretty picky about who they choose. So, and then make sure they're not in the same cage. Um, and that's true of even if it's a different species. Um, it's better to have all males or all females. You don't want the mate bonding thing going on. Believe me, it's not easy. I have that going on right now, and that territoriality is something else. I tell you, right, Cause? Not that Cause is in any way bonded to me, are you? I don't know how she managed to get bonded to me. I have not given her. I mean, I've given her just the average attention I try to give all of them. You know, avoiding too much petting. But she just climbs up on me whenever she can and buries her head in me, or she'll get on my side like she's doing now. Hi, Kaise. Good to see you again. Yeah, well, budgies are more likely to form bonds even if they're the same sex, but not so much on the larger birds. I've actually not seen that, at least not here. I have read about it happening, but it's much more rare. If budgie can't find a mate, it will find a mate, something to mate with. Um, they will mate with toys and that kind of thing. But I think that the umbrellas and the cerams would much rather mate with a toy than mate with another the same sex. Gina says my female umbrella is always upset with my male goffin. Yeah, um, there are going to be issues like that. Well, for example, Pippa's she's a Triton and Bob's a Triton, but Pippa wants nothing to do with Bob. And at first, Bob was trying to he was trying to entreat her to be his friend, his special friend, and she didn't like that. So now he just attacks her. Well, he doesn't usually attack her. I mean, he'll fly up at her, and there's a lot of fluttering wings, but there's no real biting going on. But got to be real careful there. It's less likely to happen with males. I'm not going to say it won't happen. Sometimes um, Cecil will chase Snowball around, and I have to stop that. But what cause? And the rivalry is bizarre. Lorelai would probably be over here sitting on me instead of sitting up there. Let me show you where she's sitting. That's true too, Amy. A second bird is not always the best idea. Sometimes it works out just the other way, and then you have a bird that there's Lorelai. There's where she's sitting, Lorelai, and she's here up there because this little one gets a little too protective of me. Hello, Susie Q. Um, she gets protective of me, but I mean, it's obvious she doesn't need to protect me against Lorelai because Lorelai is bonded to Cecil, even though she's perfectly happy to stay away from him at this point. Unfortunately, in captivity, they get mate aggression. The males will often mistreat the females. And since they can't call a counselor, just getting them separated did a great job with Lorelai. And the other one that's hiding up there is Jasmine. She's on the ropes. Yeah, yeah. Each bird is a study of one. So if you have one bird aggressive to the other, um, there's ways to mitigate that. But just like with Bob and Pippa, it's not always possible to fully mitigate it. Come here. Don't mind the mess in the corner over there. That's because my heel spur has slowed me down. So that's Lucy. And for those that don't realize that, and this one over here is Sugar, and she's not a fake cockatoo. She just in here she tends to sit like that, right, Sugar? Well, at least she's blinking her eyes. She is an active bird, but she doesn't tend to show that. There's Salamander too. He's in here. Yeah, all I'd need to do is bring in someone like Snowball or Cecil to make them all start running around, but they're all happy. You know, I shouldn't use the word happy, but they're all sitting where they are and seemingly enjoying the environment. So Sugar would rather have her beak petted. No, so I'm. It's not too hot. I have a heel spur, and I just got a walking brace so that I'll be able to get around a little better. Walking on that gravel outside, that large gravel, is not pleasant when you have a heel spur. So. Cause, okay, you can sit there if that's where you want to sit. See what's over here. Oh, you're gonna vacuum, so you have to replace the water in the cages, right? When I vacuum here, it's replace the water in the cages. So what I try to do is vacuum before I bring them in from the night cages. So I only have 4 birds that don't go back. It used to be 3, but Cause had that night since that night fright. She does not want to go back to the night cage, so she's staying in the front room. As soon as the vacuum goes on, here goes the water in the air. Hi, spirit matter. Yeah, it's a little better today, and I'm soaking the foot, so that's helping. And I got a brace so that if I need to, what it does is it curls the leg up, and then it puts a foot down on the floor that's not your real foot. So Basically, it's a prosthetic, as if you were missing a limb or something, is the way it works. Only it's meant for people who still have legs and feet. So tonight when I'm washing dishes, I have to take an hour to learn how to use it. I'll be standing there with no pressure on my foot. That will help. And in the mornings where I'm doing my normal rounds, you can walk around in it too. So come here. It was tough the first couple of days, boy. I tell you, I could barely walk, and I have to do 14,000 steps. So that's the average my phone says that I do a day. No, I've never seen a brace like this before. It's called an iWalk. Um, and it basically your leg, you fold your leg back at a 90-degree angle, and then the brace goes on, and then it has an extension that goes to the floor, and that's what you walk on. So ouch. That is scary, having your heels removed. Well, what I read online with a heel spur is they don't generally do that surgery in the United States. So, and I wouldn't want it anyway because I wouldn't be able to walk after having surgery. So, just reading the messages here. Yeah, yeah. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about, finding solutions for things because with the pandemic and I haven't been able to bring in volunteers because there is no way to distance in this place. So when something goes wrong with the birds or something goes wrong with you, you have to deal with it yourself, especially when you're single. And I'm singularly single, aren't I? Well, I'm polyamorous, but so with the internet now, you can look up things and find solutions. So, well, first thing I did, I just immediately, or when I started noticing how bad the pain was, I ordered a cane, so I was able to walk with a cane for a while. That slows me down a lot. But so the first thing I did was just order something to patch the problem, and the cane helped. But of course, I'm moving at half speed, so with 21 cages to clean, because some of them stay in the living room. 21 cages to clean every day, and all the other stuff that needs to be done, the cooking, that just. So one of the things I had set up for emergencies is I don't like freezing food. I don't think it comes out tasting good. So one of my solutions is just to cook up a huge batch. And I use pressure cookers. So I cook up a huge batch that has the large container that I put the breakfast in, and then the small containers I put the dinner in because they only get a small amount for dinner because they have their dry food and everything else. So I make that up. I made that up for 3 days. Okay, I'm standing there going, this is killing me, but I made it up for 3 days. So all I have to do is warm that. I put out their dry food. I put out their water, and then I mix the wet food with their edamame and their blueberries and their carrots. I put all that stuff in the bowls, and I also take the fresh vegetables and I put them in separate containers and put them in the freezer so I can just go and be done in the morning. That was all. Again, knowing what to do when something goes wrong. Of course, there's the other one, which is the absolute one where I have to say, "Can somebody come and help?" But I didn't have to do that this time. It got close. I got so far behind. This is something I'm doing. I'm going to clean my glasses now. If Bob was in here, I couldn't do this. Because if I take off the glasses, he attacks my face. So there's that moment of, no, Bob is not in here. Oh, come here if you're going to sing. You're going to sing, Peaches? Got another verse to that, Peach? Well, come here. Oh, come on. Do you have another verse? You have another verse to that song? Hmm? You don't? No more verses? Well, what do you want to do? So knowing that I could put food ahead 3 days if I had problems would help, and then having things around like something to I had a foot bath with Epsom salts in case I had a problem there. I also keep the Epsom salts around for any kind of itching, like shingles and stuff like that when you get to be my age. Epsom salts works great on that stuff. Just having the things around so that you can survive your own problems so you can take care of the birds, right? Because I got a lot to do in my 18-hour day, right, baby? Yeah, it's funny the things they'll try to mate with. You know, your ear is one of them. Now, there's a feather on this side. She can't preen herself. There's a feather on this side that's grown funny, and I'm trying to get it out. So things you can have for those emergencies, right? You need a shoulder brace, a arm a brace for your wrist, a brace for your elbow, a brace for your knees and your ankles. I mean, these are just compression braces. I'm wearing one today because that knee's popping a little bit. You get old and some of the joints start to go. So when something goes, you just go to the where you have everything set up for emergencies and you pull it out, right? The ankle braces, I have two types that I have. I have the ones that just compression braces. And the same thing for the knees. I have the compression that you just pull on, and I also have the big bulky ones that have they have struts on them to take the weight off the knees and the ankles. I have those for emergencies too. But having that stuff around, especially when it's hard to get things. I mean, you can get things through Amazon, but you're talking a couple of days, right? And getting to see the doctor isn't as easy as all that. And if you do, you don't know what you're exposing yourself to. So, you know, that holding her foot out is cute, but she does something else, which I'm never going to get this on video because she doesn't do it that often, maybe once a month or so. When she'll hold her foot out like she wants you to hold to do that, right? But then she'll take her foot and go like that with her head. And I don't know who taught her that, but it is one of those. If you say shake, sometimes she'll do that. She'll put that foot out, and when you go to put your hand up there, she takes her foot and goes over her head. I don't know where you learned that. Hmm? Where did you learn that? Watching some old 50s show, maybe? Hmm? Oh, broke your tailbone, Gina. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, the things that can happen. I've got an inguinal hernia, and because I was loading up a dumpster outside about twice a year. I have to load up one of these big dumpsters with stuff that just ended up breaking or whatever because things don't last that long anymore. And so I can fill up one of those dumpsters about twice a year. And dummy me, here I have this huge chair that I was getting rid of because it was just falling apart. Gave myself a hernia, so then I had to come up with some way because I don't want the surgery. There's reasons I don't want the surgery. I like doctors, but I don't think they've got this one figured out yet. I've talked to too many people who've rejected the mesh that they put in there. So, and the ambulance chasers online, when you put in hernia surgery, there's a ton of ambulance chasers that come up. So that tells you something. So I came up with my own way of holding it in. There's nothing in the world out there to do it, so I had to make up my own method. But so it works. So I'm still moving around, even with a stupid hernia. Right, Peach? I know you're not going to let me pull that one. But maybe you'll let me preen it just a little bit. Since she can't preen her feathers, some of them come in looking like scimitars. So they just curl around. And those ones are the ones that are seem to be most likely to get infected. So when one of those comes in, I focus on pulling it out. So a couple of times a day, I look to see what she's got growing there, and I try to fix them as much as I can. But there's a lot of feathers down there, Peach. There are, aren't there? Mm-hmm. You know there are. Where are you going? You're going to use my shirt to climb down. Okay. Well, I don't know where you're going, though. There's the beach. Oh, thanks, Gina. It's a little better today. I got around. I actually got the morning dishes done, which for a couple of days I was trying to do them all at one time, standing in one spot. It was not much fun, but I got the morning dishes done and the back room. I got the cages cleaned, which was what I normally do. So I actually was able to hobble around better today. That's funny, Cheryl. Yeah, they do learn that. Murray, the African gray that we had, who died of old age, but she did the cough really well. So if I had started coughing, she'd cough for a week or more after that. We're just repeating my cough, which is unfortunate because if I catch a cold, I cough really bad. So I remember going into one of these clinics when I get upper and lower bronchitis just like that. So I'm going to wear a mask probably from here on out anyway. It's kept me from catching colds, and colds are almost as bad as COVID. Not quite, but almost for me because I cough so hard. I walked in there and into the room, and the doc comes in. I said, "I need codeine," and she said, "Well, there's other things." I said, "No, I have upper and lower bronchitis." And she says, "Well, how do you know that?" I said, "Hold on a minute, just listen." About 30 seconds later, I started coughing, and she just started writing out a prescription. She's like, "I've got 3 refills on this for you." Kazi isn't afraid of him. It was Coco who didn't like the cameras, but Coco's passed away, so Kaz doesn't mind cameras. Kaz doesn't want Lorelai to get too close to me, which is silly because Lorelai's already bonded to somebody else, and I think she knows that. You must know that. What, Peach? Well, you're both down there, so I gotta tilt the camera down so we can see you. What, Peach has? Hi, Eleanor. Peach, you gonna say hi to Eleanor? Peaches. You gonna say hi? I know you can't hear anybody. That's the way YouTube works, though. You have to deal with that. See, you're on the screen, but they're not. Yeah, she likes the chats that we have. The people who are on Patreon who support the sanctuary and are members of our workplace. Uh, we get into live chats where we actually talk through Google Meet. So, and we hang out with the birds, with these birds, right? And any other birds there might be. These birds and the budgies. I know some budgies in Germany, don't you? P says. Oh, don't feel bad, Kai say. I'm not good at remembering names either. It's funny because when I was taking 3 foreign languages at once, I could remember 300 words for language, almost 1,000 words a week without a problem. But when it comes to names, they don't stick. But I at least I know why now. I have a strange memory condition that about 10% of the population has, and most of them don't know it. So Carol, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about that because the pandemic. We still have that pandemic out there, even though the government is ignoring it. And as much as I want volunteer helpers, I'm not sure it's the safest thing to do because if I catch even a really bad flu or a cold or a COVID, we could have real problems here. We have some support, but I mean, I don't have one person who can give medicine to every bird every day, twice a day. So, but I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Kazi is. She's about her last weigh in. Actually, her morning weigh in today was 424 grams. Yep. And you get to some of them, they're seven in the 700 range. Lorelei usually sits there. You could never tell it by looking at her though. She's got so much muscle on her. Kaz, Kazi, say hi, cockatoo. 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 Guys, hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. Hi, cockatoo. You won't say hi, cockatoo? No. It's not from being shy, I'm sure of that. I don't know. If you came at one of these birds with a brush, you'd probably have a fight on you. But petting them, yeah. Preening, right, Peach? Hey, Susie Q says, hi, Peach. There you go, Peaches. Oh, spirit matter. That's a good thing to have a good vet. We've got a great vet, but he's about it's a 3 hour round trip by the time everything's done. So we have an exotic pet vet. Actually, he worked at the Zoological Society of San Diego at the Crest Center for 7 years, so he knows what he's doing, but he also knows his limitations. I mean, for basic blood work and that kind of thing, and he's good. Or if you have a blood feather or something that a follicle that's bad, I take the blood feathers out myself. But if there's a follicle problem, um, he's good with that. But Jenkins is for all the major stuff, and that's a 3 hour round trip. Everything in California? No, not really. There are parts of California where you don't have things. I know people in like Central California have trouble finding an avian vet. And Dr. Young says that he's really disappointed. A lot of the people coming out of their veterinary schools are not getting into either exotics or avians because we are missing a lot of information we need to fully care for them. And so there's a lot of what you do may or may not help, and they aren't willing to take those. They don't like those holes in our knowledge, and they don't want to be telling somebody your bird died and I don't know why. So Yeah, I'm not sure why I'd use a brush on a cockatoo. That's different. I never even thought of that kind of thing. They have a built-in brush. It's called a beak, but yeah, she's still a little sleepy in the evenings. I'll go by her cage and she'll be with her eyes closed, and I'll talk to her and she'll open her eyes and look at me. She'll show interest, but she does look a little sleepy. Peach, are you in there? Everybody looks like they've had a dose of Novocaine. I have to show you what it looks like in this place. It's not just these guys looking like they're half asleep. I mean, they prefer to go out to the aviary, and we could have made it today. I think some of the neighbors put firewood in their fireplace and start burning that stuff. So when they do that, I have to bring the birds in. So it's chilly enough for these people who are, if you're in Europe, you're used to being in a room that's 65 or 60 degrees, but out here they're not, so they're burning firewood. Jasmine, are you sleeping up there? Jazz. Yeah. Sugar, doing your mannequin look again? Hmm? I know a Dr. Stahl, yes. Oh, it does kind of, doesn't it? Yeah. She's just looking at me like I should be petting her beak, but she won't even come over and ask me to do it. They don't like being inside. I don't blame them. But it's a lot of extra walking right now, and extra walking is not something I'm going to do. Probably the crutch will help, and I'll be back to normal in a week or two. But they should be able to get out by the end of the week, I hope. I'm not sure she would let you, but you could try. She's funny. People think, wow, she's really beautiful. And look at all the noises she's making. I was like, yeah, that's stay away. Stay away from my dad, is what she's saying, because she's mated to me. So once she got to know you, she'd probably let you do it. But, oh, Peaches, let's not get amorous now. Let's not start getting amorous. Uh-oh. Peach, Peaches, what are you doing? What are you doing, little girl? No, you don't need to start doing that. She's licking my hand. Yeah, she's pretty close to vibrating. You need to back off a little bit, Peach. Peaches. Kaisei says, hey, Don, I want to set ropes like you have in your room too, but I'm worried to get pooped on from above. Um, do you have this problem? Only with one bird, and that's because Snowball likes to sit right over me. And I'm not sure why that is, but he wants to be right over me. So, I mean, he's living proof that males are just as affectionate as females in the parrot world. because he wants to be close to me, but he doesn't want to get down here and deal with the other birds. So, but that's the only one I have that problem with. So that's okay. I keep paper towels close. Oh, thank you, Amy, for the super chat. Appreciate the donation. We can use it, can't we, Peach? Can't we, Cause? Yes, we can. Aw, thanks for the super chat, there, Casey. Yeah, they do miss each other. Yeah. Um, in the Parrots of Telegraph Hill, you see that in several cases where the birds are mourning the passing of someone. Not to mention, why can't I think of his name now? It's been a rough couple of days, and the old feet have been driving me crazy. But Mark Bittner, yeah, he went through some depression too. So, but yeah, um, they a good example is Snowball. I mean, there's times when you can tell he still misses Chloe because when she died, he kept going to one spot and looking for her, and he'll still go up there and sit and look. So, and that's been a long time. So long, Spirit Matter. Thanks for stopping by to see us. Appreciate it. Well, one thing about bird poop is it's easy to clean up. I mean, doesn't stink and it cleans up really quick. Unless you got white carpets. If you got white carpets, you probably need to have a psychiatrist. I don't know why anybody would want white carpets, but unless you like to clean, like my Aunt May, I mean, you walked into her house and she had plastic on all the furniture. If I'd brought a bird into her house, she probably would have had a heart attack. Yeah, Kazi misses her. Yeah, I showed her. Showed her a video of Simone recently, and she watched the whole thing just intently. She knew who it was, especially when Simone started saying what she says, which is cockatoo, cockatoo. But they all have a special way of saying something. So, oh, thank you, Kai. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate the donation and having you show up consistently the way you have. It's wonderful. Yeah. Right, Cause? You know Simone? You know the Simone? Hmm. Yeah, one of the last rehomings we did was Simone, and I didn't actually have the tools. I had to take some more classes to deal with the aggressive nature. She was chasing salamander around. You got this 420-gram umbrella cockatoo chasing this, almost 1,000-gram Suram cockatoo, and I mean, she was pretty much terrorizing everybody. I could fix that today, but at the time I hadn't taken Animal Training 101, with Jennifer's Alex, and that's really been the key to dealing with a lot of this. I got to work on this one over here. She's pretty tied to sunflower seeds, so I may be able to use non-contingent reinforcement, which is basically just give her a sunflower seed occasionally to keep her mind off of Lorelei. Because Lorelei would like to come over here, but she's not going to do it with Cause defending the area. Oh, what I came up with to clean up bird poop as a solution, so you can get it while it's wet, you can try it. I take a gallon jug and I put in 1 cup of Dr. Bronner's unscented baby shampoo. It's not shampoo, but baby, what do they call it? It's a cleaner. I can't think of the actual name for the stupid cleanser, I think. But anyway, there's nothing in it that's going to hurt the birds. I tested that out and I double checked. And I put 1 cup of that in there, and then I put in a half a cup of glycerin, just food grade glycerin, and then I add water to it, and you just shake it up before you spray it, and it works great. Simone's doing better. Yeah, she hasn't had an attack. She was having attacks 2 to 3 times a day, and she's on some medication. Plus, she's not getting bottled water anymore. Instead, she's getting RO water, which because the bottled water in New Jersey, I looked at by law they have to put in what's in the water, and she was getting bottled spring water, and there's lead and zinc and a whole bunch of chemicals in there. I mean, some I knew that are carcinogenic, and some of them I hadn't even heard of. So now she's getting RO water, and reverse osmosis water is almost pure. It has no flavor, but oh yeah, Solomon. He's not just a cutie, can I say? He actually hugs. And at night it's hard to get him into his night cage because he's got his head against your chest and he doesn't want to take it off. And if you try to pull him away, his head stays on your chest. He's yeah, he's a real hugger, aren't you? You're just going to sit up there. He comes in here and he just likes to sit up there. Of course, at this time of day in the wild, that's what they do. So, yeah, Simone looks a lot better. It's good to see her coming back. She would fall off the perch and land on the bottom of the cage, and then at times she would either the right or the left leg would stick out, or it would curl up, and those usually mean a lesion at the base of the brain area, um, where it's usually something in their environment that's poisoning them. So we started by taking the water and purifying it, and then she's on. We don't know which one will help though. She was also on some different drugs. They gave her gabapentin, which I don't think does anything. I think that's just a subsidiary of Pfizer doing what they did to. Well, they actually got penalized for selling the drug to things that there's no proof it actually does any good for. So, ooh, I'm missing a whole bunch here. Oh, Gina, the avian flu. Do I have any concerns? Yes, I do. The aviary is kept covered. I mean, I have, I buy these huge covers, tarps. I buy these huge tarps. I put ropes on them, and then I throw the ropes over, and then I cover them up, and I wrap the rope around the outside of it, so there's no birds getting on the aviary except when we're in it, and they won't land on it while we're in it. So the only problem we might have is if a bird flies over. But then again, most of the birds that are carrying this are the waterfowl, and we don't see them here. So yeah, yeah, that's pretty spooky. Um, there are a lot of birds that have been culled because of that. Yeah, well, where I live in San Diego County, there's a section, or here at the sanctuary, there's a section where there is a riparian area. You can't see any water, but obviously there's some water underground. We have um, kind of looks like a forest out there, at least for about uh, half a mile or so. Right? Oh, Peaches, it's a beautiful song. Do you have another? Do you have another song, Peaches? Another verse? Peaches, Peaches. She's about ready to start vibrating this one, aren't you? Pippa's not in the room. That's the second group that comes out, and actually, she'll be coming out shortly. But yeah, her and Bob are aggressive to each other, but she's aggressive to Cause, and then Lorelai's aggressive to her. It's just it's too complicated right now in the mating season, so I have them broken up. Eventually, they'll all be back in the aviary together, but not until this excessive mating behavior comes to an end. Peach. Speaking of mating behavior. What'd you say, Peach? What'd you say, Peach? Hi, F. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, last night Pippa was doing fine with Bob, and she's learned that Bob's a big hog. He'll take his spot and he'll defend it. But she's learned to sit where I can pet her over on the perch, and Bob just hauled up and went after her. And the thing about that is Bob's the one who's going to get hurt, not her. If he ticks her off and Pippa turns on him, that's going to be a mess. The last time that happened, she bit his tongue, and it was a couple of weeks before that healed. And all the vet could actually say is, it looks okay, here's some antibiotics. And that's really all you could do. There's no way you can put a bandage on the tongue. Although I know some people that probably could use one of those. Looks like the video is stuck. I'm not sure what's going on here. If it's on my end or... Oh, okay, good. Yeah, it's just me then. My secondary screen is stuck, but I'm still seeing the chat though. That's mainly what I have it up here for. Yeah, as Amy's talking about there, we have a private workplace, and it's designed. It's just for businesses, but it's designed for by the people who did Facebook. So they made it, and when they did, they didn't make in a they did not put in a bunch of mistakes like they did in the original Facebook. So, but it's just for us. It's not. It's a private area. If you want to join Patreon, you can be part of that and support us that way. Basically, once you join that, you're a volunteer. So, right? What are you doing hiding down there? Come here. Yeah, the Patreon meetings are a blast. We're live and we're actually talking to each other and can see each other on the screen. You don't have to show your face, of course, but you can see each other on the screen and we all hang out with the birds. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do? Do we? Are you sure? How you doing, my little head bouncer? Hi, Cockatoo. Hi, Cockatoo. Hi, Cockatoo. We don't talk on cue, do we? No, we don't. I just need some super glue. Yeah. Super glue? Cause don't get too close to Peaches now. Let's not get into any kind of territoriality, okay? Peaches got your spot, or her spot, and you've got yours. Oh, thank you, Eleanor, for the super chat. Yeah, she is cute, isn't she? She's a cutie. Hey, Cause. Well, when she first came here, she wouldn't even look at you. She always kept her eyes away from you. I'm not sure what was done to her. I mean, I heard the stories that she was in the hallway with Simone for 12 years, and they didn't have any choice because they used to barber each other, and it's not the same thing as feather plucking. Okay, barbering, you know, as I try to explain, and we have gotten such a misnomer. It's spreading all through the some of the people who are actually bird experts, so-called experts. Yeah, most of them are that are saying this, but they call plucking barbering. It's not. You don't go down to the hair salon to watch your hairstylist do their own hair. Someone who barbers, you barber someone else, right? So a bird that chews on other birds' feathers is a barber. Or as I like to say, they're a Sweeney Todd. Right, Peach? Right, Peach?
Peaches. Peach. Come here, cutie pie. Wow. That's funny how YouTube does that. The video had stopped on my screen, and then I went over and figured out that it had just shut off. So I started it up, and it's going back to whenever it stopped, which is bizarre. Watching myself in the past. What are you doing upside down? Now, that upside down behavior is actually a behavior that they need to do at the vet for cloacal exam. So I teach the birds to flip upside down. There's one exception actually here, and that's Peaches. She does not know how to flip upside down because her back is screwed up and her neck is screwed up, and she doesn't do well on her back. And then actually, there's two exceptions. Salamander, in order to do a cloacal exam on him, he has to be anesthetized because he has the twisted spine where it's twisted at a 90-degree angle on the right side. It's pretty scary to look at. How scary? When you ask a vet to do X-rays and they're going to do one X-ray and they do 8 and charge you for one, you know it's not normal. Okay. What are you doing over there? Come here, Cause. Come here, Cause. Big silly. Yeah, just write me an email, Kaisei. That'll do it. It used to be difficult to add somebody to that. When we first started that up, you wouldn't believe it would take me a half an hour because I'd have to set up a separate email account under the Chloe Sanctuary, and then they'd made it so difficult. But now it's really easy. I send you an invite, and you can hop right in. You sign up, and then I approve it, and that's it. Oh, and I just released publicly the everybody who's a member got to see this early, but the video about Peaches just got released on YouTube. So about Peaches, it's got some cute pictures of Peaches in it too. Yes, it does. Peaches, wrong species. Peaches, wrong species. I am not a Ceram cockatoo. I'm not that fortunate. No. Yeah, I can do that. I can send an invitation, bulk invitation to all patrons. It's not a problem. In the past, it was. I couldn't believe how complicated they made it. It's like, God, these people. What are you doing, Peaches? Yeah, Gina, getting older is a problem. We had everything set up to go because these birds have to have medicine every day to go to a bird rescue, and these were good people. And they recently got older and had to shut everything down, and they took the birds they could not place with them to their own home, and that was that. So we're still looking. Most of these big places don't want to take in these kind of birds. I mean, 10 of them here have to have medicine twice a day, and 2 of them, if they don't get that medicine, they're going to die. So um, the other ones are just going to end up looking like they were put through oh, thank you, FD. Appreciate it very much for your super chat donation. Um, yeah, so it is difficult um, to find. It's hard enough to find a place for a bird that's perfectly normal. But if you take someone like Kaz, okay, Kaz gets 0.13 milligrams of, or I should say milliliters, of haloperidol orally twice a day. And if she doesn't, she will chew off her tail feathers, she will chew her chest away, and then it will progress from there. It's a progressive disorder. Um, So, and Peaches is on 0.10. If she doesn't get it, she chews the feathers off of her shoulder, what you would call shoulders if she were human, up here, the spot between the primary and secondary, and then she chews right under her chest where she can reach with her neck. And it's not so much the feather chewing that's the problem, it's that she's eventually going to get down to the skin, right? And then she's going to start mutilating herself. So Sugar's the one that can't live without it. Give her 24 hours without the medicine and you can put her in a box. Can't you? Oh, don't look at me that way. Don't. She's upset with me sitting next to Peaches. It's another of her species, you know. Sugar, you sweet bird. Yes, you are a sweet girl. Yes, you are a sweet girl. Yes, you are. Can I pet your beak? Can I pet that beak? Maybe she'll let me pet it. Peaches, I gotta scoot this way. See if I can pet a beak. Yeah, see if I can move the Sugar's iPad slightly. Peach, come here. Yeah, I worry about it too. I'm trying to find another place, but the big places aren't interested. Even if you offer them like the vehicle we have, should something happen. But there's the Sugar. Let me see if I can get her to let me pet her beak. Can I pet your beak? Come on, let me pet. Can I pet the beak? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Yes, I'm holding Peaches. I know that. But I still want to pet your beak. Come on. Let me pet it. Oh, now you got to move a little closer than that. You know, that's kind of a stretch for me there, kid. You can move a little closer. Just a little closer. Oh, come on, Sugar. Sugar bird. Hey, Shug. Sugar. Yeah, see, she's letting me pet the underside of her beak, but she isn't grabbing my finger like she usually does. She plays with my finger. She's not doing that. So she's upset about Peaches being on me. Now Peaches is not happy with me petting Sugar. Where you going, Peach? You're turning around? Oh, okay. Can I pet that beak for real? Come on. Pet that beak. Silly girl. Yeah, now that that sanctuary is gone, this is the thing. You run a sanctuary, and once the people who started it are gone, they usually fold up. So the one where Corazon was, that's not actually the name of the bird. The bird was named Pinky, but I had to use a different name because the sanctuary is still going, and I didn't want to cause any trouble. But the one where she was they did great work. It was a husband and wife team, and then the husband died, and that was it. The whole thing folded up, and they couldn't find anybody to take care. They had lots of volunteers too, which was great. But the problem with sanctuaries is they come and go. Rescues. Now they did rescue work too, and they were pretty good out of it. They had enough of a crew to send people out, and they were sharp about looking for things like Teflon and fans and ovens with self-cleaning features and that kind of thing. But it takes a pretty good crew to actually do rehoming. We've never had that big of a crew that we were able to do it well. Most of them just came back to us. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was chatting with someone today, just text chat and iMessage actually, and they were talking to their new boss. They're changing companies. They were talking to their new boss, and they had made arrangements for her to take work different special hours because one of her birds is sick, and they didn't realize it was birds. They said your dog, and she goes, I don't have a dog, and it's a cockatoo, and they go, what? Cockatoo? What? Cockatoo? And then the bird walked over to the phone and said, cockatoo. So at that point, the boss figured it out. It was a bird. Oh, thank you. I'm blessed to have them. People say, you're so patient. It's like, no, my patience comes from them. They taught me to be patient, didn't you? Didn't you teach me that? Sugar. Sugar bird. Oh, sugar. And she's a little jealous right now, so she's giving me that jealous look. You being jealous? Are you being jealous, big girl? Hmm? Are you being jealous? You are, I can tell. I know when you're jealous. Yeah. When she's jealous, she won't look right at me. She looks away. It looks like she's looking at me, but she's not. She's looking over my head. How do I know? You get used to looking at those dark eyes, right? Can I say, Mark Bittner, in the movie and the book, The Parrots of Telegraph Hill, said that he was trying to find some, just like a bum on the street at the time, a musician, which as he said, is about the same thing. And so he got some seed, and he said, I'm just going to start giving seed to the birds. And he was bored with it. And then he saw these cherry-headed conures, and he said, God, those are more like monkeys than birds. And that was the beginning of his love for them. So, yeah, there's something else, aren't you guys? Huh? Hmm? Aren't you? Well, I better get moving. I'm having a little overtime here, but that's okay. We don't mind, do we, girls? Thank you all for coming. Much appreciated. Thank you all, and thank you for those who helped us in Super Chat and patrons. And I'll make sure to make that note on. I have someone who will remind me, but I need to tell the patrons how to get into our workplace. So thanks again for coming, and we'll see you for the next video. Peaches, where's Peaches? Is that Peaches? That's Peaches. Peaches, you want to say goodbye? Oh, there goes the foot. There goes the foot. There goes the foot. That's your foot. That's your foot. Hi, Peach. Thank you, Eleanor, and thanks, Amy, for your help. Much appreciated. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to entertain some birds and give some medicine in a little while and bring out the boys. Yeah. So, have a good one, folks. Peaches, you're going to help me press the button on here.